Hello, children. I hope that you're all fine at your homes. Yeah, so welcome to a new lecture for social science. In the previous lectures, as we have been discussing the history chapter 2, that is from hunting, gathering to growing food. Okay, so we have seen so far regarding how the travel people used to travel from one place to another. Why? What was the main reason for them to travel from one place to another? In the previous class, as I have shared the textbook screen, so at that time I just explained in a way by giving few points regarding, and we had seen that they used to travel from one place to another in search of food, for hunting animals, in search of fruits and plants, in search of water and all. Okay. And we also saw regarding for finding out water, they had two sources that were perennial as well as seasonal. So perennial was the meaning as throughout the year. Okay. And seasonal means water that were available, and it was completely dependent on the season. And which was the season? It was monsoon. Okay. And we also saw regarding the means in the chapter number 1, we had already seen that they use the two stone tools for their purpose, and what were the uses of those stone tools that we have seen in the last class, that to cut the meat or bones, to scrap the bark of trees, to scrap the animal skin, to chop fruits and roots, they used the stone tools. Okay, and by this we came to know regarding the question that how where did they live. We also came to know regarding which are the places that they were living. Okay, so they lived in the places where the evidences of or sources of water were found, or where good quality of stones were available. In such places they used to live. And we also saw about a place in Madhya Pradesh that was Bhimbetka, and in that place they had to live. They also lived in certain caves. I'm sorry. Okay, they used to live in natural caves because they provided shelter from the rain, heat, and wind. And the rocks shelters are close to the Narmada Valley. So they lived in such a caves, such a rock place where it was very close to the Narmada River. Okay, so it is a place in which found they found good quality of stones, and also water resources were available easily. So in that stone caves, they used to draw certain rock paintings. Okay, uh, which uh, uh, which shows that the wild animals drawn with great accuracy and skill. So these were their skills of the drawing that they had. Okay, and also we also saw regarding that whether the fire was available in those times or not. So we had some we came to know regarding certain proofs of that was there fire available in those times. So we saw a place called Kurnul Caves. Okay, where the traces of ashes were found, and these fire were used for three important purpose, that was as a source of light, and to roast meat, and to scare away the wild animals. So these were the things that we saw in the last class. And the most importantly, we saw regarding the three periods that were Paleolithic and Mesolithic, also Neolithic. These were the three kind of periods. So we had an explanation regarding the Paleolithic as well as Mesolithic period in the last lecture itself. So in today's lecture, we are going to see about Neolithic period later on. But before that, we had in the last class we just ended up with the Kurnool caves, and that regarding the sources of fire, how they used to use fire. That was the point that we ended up in the last lecture. So in today's lecture, as I told that uh, up to, yeah, so we also saw regarding the Mesolithic period that how they used to treat animals. Okay, and what was the first animal to be tamed. So all these things we saw in the previous lecture, and the changes we looked about, certain changes, some of the changes that took place in the Mesolithic period. That one was a new stone tool was found, and it was known as microliths. Okay, we came to know regarding. So what is microliths means, micro means small and liths means stones, and older Paleolithic tools were also being used, and people started settling down in the same place for a long time to take care of plants and animals. So with these, a new concept just came along with their mind. That was that domestication. So up to this point was the last point that we discussed in the last class. Means I told you that from the next lecture we'll be discussing about the domestication and the Neolithic period, and regarding all the terms that took place in the regarding all the animals that were used in Neolithic period, as well as how the archaeologists came to know regarding this Neolithic period. So all these things I told that in this lecture we'll be discussing. So yes, let's get started for this today's lecture. So, what is domestication? So, as per, let's first discuss about what this domestication is. So, see, I am. You can look down in the screen also. See, I am highlighting it. See, what is the domestication? See, domestication. It is a process where people look after animals and grow plants. So, domestication is a process in which people used to look after plants and animals. That is the process. So, which is it is known as domestication, and they are different from wild animals and plants. And how and why? So, how we could say that the plants and animals that were used as domestication purpose, they were different from the normal animals and plants. How can we say that? So how and why, how it occurred and why, what was the reason behind it? So let's see. Because the reason that they were different from the normal animals and plants, that was that because they select such kind of plants and animals that are less prone of diseases and that give more and proper crops. Means those plants and animals that were used in the domestication purpose was was that kind of animals that had less prone of disease. Means the diseases would not get into their body. Means in very less, it could happen, yeah, it could happen on a temporary basis. Means most of the animals would not get any kind of disease. That is what the meaning is. So such kind of animals were being used in the domestication process. And also plants, they also used that, and the plants that were used as a domestication process was that kind of plants that gave more crops and proper crops, not only just crops. They used to give such kind of crops that were more useful for them, and they used to give crops in a more quantity. Okay, so this is what domestication purpose, and this is what domestication is. And these kind of animals and plants were being used in the domestication. Okay, so this is what about the domestication is. Now let's, in your textbook in page number 17, it is already given. You can read out these points that I have shown in this, uh, in your computer screen. This is I have written in a short way everything regarding domestication, but when you read in the textbook you will come to know little more deeper. Yeah, you will get that these points are already have been covered up. So okay, so when you read this thing, then you will come to know. And what is now let's get understood about the timeline of this domestication. So what was the timeline of this domestication? So that is, domestication is a gradual process that took place in many parts of the world. So this is kind of a process that took place in many parts of the world slowly. That's what gradually means. Gradually means it took in a very slow pace. So this it many parts of the world this domestication was uh, uh, activated, or it just went on. Okay, and it what was the time period? It began about 12,000 years ago. Yes, so this process was begun about the at about 12,000 years ago. This process took place. And what is the another point? See, all the plant and animals produce that we use as food today is a result of domestication. So all the plants, so plants also help us to give food. Okay, and animals also means we can say that all the plants and animals produce that we use as a food today. And some animals were being also used as a food, and also plants were also being used as a food. So all those plants and animals that are used in today's world is a result of domestication. Why we tend to use such kind of food, means these plants and animals? The only reason is that it is of domestication. So domestication is the reason that we use such kind of food today as a result of food. So this is what we use the plant and animals as a food. Now, what is another point? See, some of the earliest plants to be domesticated were wheat and barley. See, this is an important point. When you read the textbook in the page number 17, it is given on the domestication section on the last second line. It is given. Okay, in your textbook, you can note down some of the earliest plants to be domesticated were wheat and barley. So, two the which were the two plants that were being domesticated first in the earlier times? That was wheat and barley. So it is an important point that is could be asked in a fill ups. Okay, so what is another point? The earliest domesticated animals include what? Not only plants, no, animals. So uh, earlier used domesticated animals include what? Which were the animals that were being domesticated in earlier times? Those were sheep and goat. So sheep and goat were the animals that were being domesticated in the earlier time. So this is what the entire process is about, domestication. I hope that you understood regarding. Just go through this entire portion from the textbook, read it, and you will come to know. uh, Once again, I would say, see, it is a process where people look after animals and grow plants. Means in those times they used to look after animals, as well as they used to look after the plants, and they were different from the normal animal and plants. So how could we say? So this was only because that these plants and animals were less prone of diseases, and the plants gave crops in more quantity, and they were growing proper crops, or they were giving proper crops. So that is only the reason why they were different from normal animals and plants. And regarding the timeline of domestication is that it was a gradual process that took place in many parts of the world in earlier times, and it began about the 12,000 years ago. And all the plant and animals produce that uh, we use today. So all the plants and animals produce that we use today as a food is a result only because of domestication. Okay, now some of the earliest plants to be domesticated were wheat and barley, and the earliest domesticated animals include what? Sheep and goat. So those were the earliest domesticated animals. That was sheep and goat. So I hope that you understood regarding what domestication is. So now let's move on for the Neolithic period. So and in our previous classes we came to know regarding the two periods. Okay, that which were they? Yeah. So first one was Paleolithic period, and second one was Mesolithic period. So we came to know what was Paleolithic period. It was the period that extended from 2 million years ago to about 12,000 years ago, and we also came to know regarding Mesolithic period. That one, the period of Mesolithic period was 12,000 to 10,000 years. It started from 12,000 years ago to 10,000 years ago. And they had a separate or special kind of stone tool was found. It was very thin, very tiny, which were known as microliths. Okay, and those microliths were probably stuck on the handles of bones and wood to make tools. So they use this microliths as the handles of bone or wood to make tools such as saws and sickles were being uh, produced with this microliths. So this is what we saw about the Paleolithic as well as Mesolithic period. Now today in this lecture we are going to learn or we are going to understand about Neolithic period. So what is that? So this period let's get started. That is, the first point is this period started at around 10,000 years ago. Okay, this period was started 10,000 years ago, and farming was started and grains were grown, and these grains were used in four ways. So what was that? In this Neolithic period, farming was started and as well as grains were been started to grow. So these grains were used in four ways. Which were those four ways? That is, first they were used as seeds. For what purpose? To grow more crops, and they were used as food. They were used as gifts, as well as they were used as to store food for later, so that they could never have any difficulty for food. So they used to store the food. So when this process took place, when these four kinds of ways took place, at that time they began to think about the food storage. Yes. So at that time there those people uh, came to know about that food could be stored in a way. So in which way food could be stored? So well, how that could be done? So and from that period onwards, this food storage and such activities took into account or took into activeness, okay, or came into existence. So how this food storage could be done? So well, so let's they started making clay pots for food storage, and baskets were viewed, as well as they used to dug pits in the ground. So there were three kind of ways that they used for uh, making for doing the food storage. So which were the which were the three kind of methods they used for the food storage? Yeah, those were first was they started making clay pots for food storage, and second is they used to weave the baskets for storing up the foods, as well as they used to dug the pits in the ground. They used to dug pits. Okay. uh, so this is what it was done for the food storage. So there were three methods that were being followed for the food storage. As once again, I would say these were the three methods. Which were they? First is making the clay pots. They used to make clay pots for the food storage. Second is they used baskets for baskets which were being weaved. They made these baskets by weaving. Okay, through the thread and all. Okay, means in those times baskets were being weaved, and they used to dug pits in the ground. Okay, so in this way, the food storage came into existence in those times. Okay, so students, I think so. I hope so. You might have understood regarding this. Okay, this lecture. Okay, so in the coming lecture, we would be discussing uh, about the animals that were being found in the Neolithic period, or how the animals were being stored, how animals, what was the main source of means animal, means how they had a friendly relation with, or how they managed with the animals. Okay, and in which way they took care of the animals in the Neolithic period. Okay, so that would be the one point, and the next point would be that how the archaeologists came to know about all such kind of concepts. So this is what the such kind of points that we would be discussing in the next lecture. And the other points that we would be discussing is, along with that, is tools that were being used in the Neolithic period. Okay, so this would be this is the first point, about the animals in the Neolithic period, and second is how the archaeologists came to know about such type of concepts. Okay, so this would, and the second point would be the tools in the Neolithic period that were being used. Okay, so this would be the 2 points, okay, that we would be discussing in the next lecture. So in today's lecture we came to know regarding what is domestication, what is the process, and what was the timeline of domestication. And also we came to know about a brief about the Neolithic period, how it started, how was what kind of activities took place in the Neolithic period, means how the grains were being grown, in which ways they have were been followed, and how the food storage decision came into existence. So all these things we saw today. So please, I would request you all the children to please read the page number, yeah, page number 15, as well as sorry, page number 17, as well as page number 18. Okay, I would say, yeah, see, this is the first sheet, and this is the Neolithic period. So you have to read from this starting of this domestication in page number 17. Okay, it is given to this, yeah, in the first paragraph of page number 18. That is, it before that storing animals. Okay, before that storing animals, I will show you. I will show you up from up to where you have to read the portion. Okay. Yes. Okay, students. So yes. So here is the textbook in front of you on the screen. So I will tell you. Yeah. So we had discussed today. Yes, from this page number. This, see, you can see this domestication. Okay, over here. This part, this page, the whole page. That is page number 17. Okay, and this page number 18. Yeah, so I will say, I was saying that you have to read up to this portion. Yes, that's I'm highlighting it. Yeah, up to this answer, this one give, yeah, means, yeah, up to this ground. So as the grains had been stored for both food and seed, people had to think ways of storing it. So it in many areas. So they began making clay pots, wool baskets, as we had discussed today, and dug pits into ground. See, this point, up to this point, you have to uh, read the textbook for today's part. Okay. Okay, children. So I hope that you have understood regarding this. And in the coming lecture, we would be discussing about the animals in the Neolithic period, and how they multiplied, and how they had a relation with the animals in those times. How the animals itself, they themselves store food, uh, food. They were been reared, and they used as a they were being used as a store of food, and how the archaeologists came to know regarding all of these concepts. This would be discussing in the next lecture. And also the second point that would be discussing in next lecture is the tools that were being used in the Neolithic period. Uh, okay. So this is what we will be discussing in the next lecture. So in today's lecture, as I have told you, this is page number 17. This you have to read in your textbook from this domestication, this whole page. Okay, and also as I am highlighting it, that much you have to read today. And this up to here, up to this ground, yes, up to here you have to read the entire paragraph. So I hope that you have understood today's portion. It is very easy to understand when you read along, as I have made you understand with some few points. So when you, after seeing this video, after along with this video, when you read the textbook also, then you will get that idea, that you will clearly understand that, yeah, what is domestication and what was the timeline of domestication. So what was the process, what was how it began from how many years ago, and what were the plant and animals to be produced, how it was only the reason of by the domestication. So I hope that you understood. So please do read the textbook part for today. And until we meet in the next lecture, be safe, study well, read the textbook properly, thoroughly. Then if you find any difficulty, you can contact me anytime or put up a WhatsApp message, and uh, I would be helping you out. Feel free to contact me anytime, and as much as possible, I would really help you out to understand the concepts. So thank you, children, for listening in today's lecture, and see you tomorrow. See you all tomorrow. And as I have said, would be discussing the tomorrow's topic. And by that time, take care and have fun with learning. Do learn and complete your notes. Okay. So bye bye. Thank you all. See you all tomorrow. Bye. Take care. God bless you all.